What is going on, people? Welcome back to another video. As you've seen the title already, we're doing a video on an E92 M3. Quite looking forward to it. It's the only time they put a V8 in an M3, so it should be pretty good. Basically what we're going to do now is we're going to go meet up with the owner, give you guys a little walk around of the car, show you how it's like, show you the spec, etc. Basically take you for a drive and show you guys how it feels like on your normal real life driving conditions. If you're new to the channel, basically that's what we focus on. We don't really focus on like track tests, we focus on how the car's like in the real world. So it should be pretty good. So what we'll do now, we'll go meet up with the owner and show you the car. See you guys in a second. Right people, so here is the E92 M3. Does look very good. You can always tell an M3 apart from its sort of normal 3 Series, just so wide and aggressive. Main thing to differentiate a normal sort of 3 Series to an M3 is obviously with the E92 generation is that you got the bonnet dome, flared arches, carbon roof, mirrors. There's a lot going on to make sure you know that it's an M3 coming down the road. So in terms of the engine, obviously it's got a 4-litre engine, V8. It's closely related to the V10 that's in the M5, the E60 generation. It's known as the S65 V8. Definitely does sound really good. I have heard them driving around, it's just crazy. They sound like a race car. But yeah, in terms of power, it has around 414 horsepower, there or thereabouts, and just under 300 pound-feet of torque. It is naturally aspirated. So this one in particular does have a 6-speed manual. You could get a DCT later on in the sort of model years. The manual is something nice because obviously a lot of you purists love manuals, so it should be pretty fun. And also it'll give me a sort of good idea to sort of compare it with the B7 RS4, because that obviously only came in manual and this was the sort of direct rival. The power and sort of BHP are very similar as well, so it should be pretty fun to compare those two. But yeah, of course obviously the M car's rear wheel drive, so it should be a totally different driving experience. We move around the car, you got these nice alloys. This one, like I said, it is a very clean example. First thing I noticed, definitely sits very nice. You of course obviously got the carbon roof, does look nice on the white paintwork there. This also is a pre-LCI car, so you've got the different sort of tail lights. Just love the way the M3 sits, man. Even with every M3 generation, they just sit awesome. Like I said, I am a big M fanboy, so even though we do a lot of Audi videos, do love my M cars. Whenever I see an M car on the road, I just get happy. Also, there's a side grille, just a bonnet dome as well. If I go back here, check that bonnet dome out. You know there's a proper engine under there. In terms of the interior, I'll just show you. It's got a black interior. Hope there's not too much wind noise. There's the manual transmission. I know some of you guys are going to be quite happy now to see that. I'm looking forward to checking out, and obviously 3 pedals to go with that, as you would. Definitely a nice driver focused cabin. You also got the M sort of specific seats. Overall, very driver focused. Definitely means business sitting in here. I'll just show you. Excuse all those ambulances out there. It's just nice when you jump in an M3, man. You can always feel the sort of extra sort of features just in a driving position. I know there's stuff like the dials and the seats, but I'm talking more in terms of like say the bonnet dome and the mirrors and even the wider arches. You can all see it from the driving position. It's awesome. Right, so as you can see, definitely a clean example. It is probably one of the best E92 M3s I've seen. So what we'll do now, I know you guys want to hear that V8 in action, so we'll turn it on and give you a few revs. The car just vibrates when you turn this thing on. You just feel like there's a lot of power under your foot. This thing actually sounds really crazy. I'm not gonna lie, it sounds awesome from the back as well. But one thing about the E92 M3 is it has an awesome induction noise. So I'll show you guys some revving shots of it up the front. So let me put the camera down. Right people, so you heard it revving. Definitely sounds crazy. It's one of the few cars that I wanted to capture the sort of sound from the front. Trust me, the thing's a beast. So what we'll do now, we'll go take it on that drive you guys are waiting for. So yeah, let's get started. Right people, so here we are on the E92 M3. Lovely car, man, lovely car. I've literally just jumped in it now and straight away you can just feel under your foot that there's something substantial under there. Obviously big 4-litre V8, the S65 engine. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, it is directly related to the V10 engine that was in the E90 M3. It's essentially that with 2 cylinders lobbed up and obviously some other little changes, but it's essentially the same block. Yeah, this thing doesn't feel like many other V8s on the market. The closest I've driven to this sort of power delivery is probably the B7 RS4. It just feels very similar, you know, because obviously those were direct rivals back in the day. So I'm hoping to get a good feel of how they differ. Of course, this is an M car, it's rear wheel drive. The B7 RS4 is quattro. It's a bit more of a brutish approach. But yeah, I mean, they are direct rivals that they were back in the day, so hopefully you should get a good feel of that. The top end's crazy on this. We have got an M mode, so of course you can program the M mode to what you want. Bloody hell. I'll carry on talking a second, just give me a second. Bloody hell, that was a nice turn. This is why I love M cars. See, I am a big Audi fan. Most of my videos are Audi related, but I've always said, if you guys have been following me for a while, that I do love M cars. I'm trying to cover more as we go along, but just trying to get them on the channel really. Like, we've done a few now. The F80 M3, the sort of E60 as well. Might have done another one, I can't remember. But I have had experience with them cars, whether or not I filmed them or not. This is the only one I haven't had experience with. So far, I've only been in the car for probably about 15 to 20 minutes, just driving up to these roads. Just look at this, man. That's where you feel the over 400 horsepower. That's where you feel it. My car can't do that at all. See, these little hot hatches, yeah, you can keep it with one of these up till about 60, 70, whatever it is. We've done it loads of times, but that's not the point of these cars. Like I've tried to say a few times with these sort of super saloons that are naturally aspirated, the way they just carry on pulling is unlike anything. Like, you have to have something that's equivalent to sort of keep up with it. And now obviously I've got to change down. Awesome, awesome, awesome. See, I have got an M mode, but the owner's already preset it properly. You can change it how you want to, obviously through the button, and obviously do it through the iDrive, but the owner's already put it to max attack mode. It's an MDM mode as well, which is obviously a traction control preset, which allows a bit of slip, but without letting you sort of spin out essentially. In terms of steering, it is pretty nice. You can tell it's before these sort of modern electrical systems where you can't really feel anything. I'm not gonna lie, it's not exactly like, you know, crazy with the feedback either, but you can definitely feel the road more. But I mean, nowadays a lot of the cars don't have much steering feel anymore anyway. The fact is, it's very direct. Definitely feels like you can point it where you want to and the car will just go. It's just nice to feel a rear driven car once in a while. Like, I'm so used to driving 4-wheel drive cars or 4-wheel drive cars with front bias. So I mean, it's always nice to jump in an M car. Well, any rear-wheel drive car, but an M car especially, because obviously you've got the special M differential, etc. So you know the thing's set up well. Obviously with a wider track on this, you can definitely place it where you want. It feels so stable. Wow. Now this engine just sings. Brakes are good as well. I know some people aren't fans of M car brakes, but like I always do with this channel, I always say how the car's like on just a quick country blast. For the average driver, you won't feel too much fade. Every M car that I've driven so far, even after the drive, I never felt too much fade either. So some of you guys might think I'm not pushing the car enough, but I'm pushing it enough for you to get a good feel of the car. Of course, with every car that I drive, there are people who own these cars, so you can't really disrespect them in that regard. But yeah, I'll just show up and let you guys listen to the car for a second. Like I said, very tricky road. It looks smooth maybe from the point of view angle, but windows down a second. Little bridge. Okay, that's what you buy an E92 M3 for. That's what you buy it for. Where the 400 bhp is, or 414 if you guys want to say. They're like no other cars. Crazy car, man, crazy car. And it helps that this thing is just in totally top-notch condition. This is easily one of the best sort of performance cars for the money now. If you can live with the fuel and maintenance, because obviously maintenance is quite high on this, you got to use a certain grade oil, etc. Definitely is one of the best cars for the money now. It's just so alive in your hands, and it's not too old that it feels sort of annoying to live with, and it's not too new that it has all this other tech going on. It has obviously the M button, but there's not much going on. I mean, you've got this one, obviously it's got a manual, so it's not even any gearbox settings. It's literally just the power button here and DSC off. Program it to M button, that's all you button you need. Second, 6, 7, 8. So stable as well, like I'm not worried about it. 8. I'm so glad the brakes are good on this. Nah, guys, this is a proper M car. Like, as in, obviously it's an M car, you know that, but in terms of the way it feels like a motorsport car. You know, like it's derived from that. You know, the way it sounds, the way it's agile, it's just awesome, man. Like, I can't really sort of explain it in words. It's hard to explain it, because a lot of people now, they look at spec sheets. When you heard it back then, the car starts screaming at the top end. I mean, like I said, I've driven the E60 M5 and the B7 RS4, but the E60 M5 was let down by the SMG gearbox, which is way too clunky. Obviously here you've got the manual. Awesome thing. B7 RS4 is similar in a way. They do drive in a very similar format in the sense that the power delivery, but this thing is just so agile at the rear, because obviously it's true rear wheel drive. B7 RS4 was very rear biased, but it's different, man. It's just different. Right, guys, I think we'll just pull over now and wrap up our final thoughts on the car. This thing's lived up to expectations, definitely, but it's also exceeded them quite a bit. But yeah, what we'll do is just pull over now, just find a little space here, wrap up my final thoughts. Right, people. Right, people, so there it is, the E92 M3. The last time I had this much fun in a car was ironically another M3, the F80. This thing's totally different though, like I mentioned. Proper beast of a car. Big shout out to the owner for letting me use it. Big thanks to him. Trust me, this car you've got, awesome car. Make sure you keep it for a while, because trust me, this car is one of them cars that is definitely going to go down in history as one being a proper sort of M car. V8, the last sort of time they put a V8 and M3, awesome thing. In terms of how it compares to the B7 RS4, very similar power delivery, but it is a different car to drive, obviously, because it's rear wheel drive. No matter what you do to a four-wheel drive system, it's still a four-wheel drive system at the end of the day. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. I really enjoyed it, so I hope you did. Subscribe for more to come, and make sure you turn on notifications. And yeah, if you've got a car and you'd like to see on the channel, specifically your car, do let me know and we can do a video. Just make sure you email me though. But yeah, anyway, guys, take care, and I'll see you next video.